How many years? Oh yeah, 35. Since we got to do that. Because, we've been watching it like in our living rooms and stuff, and, watching it with our kids and everything. Funny enough, swear to God, last night, that's what I was doing. On non-school nights, we all pile into bed. Me and the lady and the two boys and all that stuff. And they can pick any movie that they want. And last night they said, we want to watch Kevin. I go, gosh, you guys have such great taste. And so yeah, it's different. Like my journey with this movie, it was kind of, it was just something that I did. It was a gig, you go do a gig, and it became a thing. It became a really cool thing that people really liked and stuff. But it just kind of was like that for me. Just like, oh, it's a thing that I did that people like. But now I sit there with my kids and I watch them. I don't watch the movie, I watch them. And then their little eyes light up and everything, and they just kind of they figuring out what they like the most about it. Like, what was your favorite part? My oldest, he thinks he's Kevin. Yeah, he looks just like me too. He thinks he's Kevin, and I said, "Oh, you remember doing that movie?" He's like, "Yeah." So, do you remember going down the stairs on a sled? He's like, "Yeah, sure do." I go, "You liar!" Liar. Do you like your shoes? This paid for your shoes. So, no, I do that, but I try to keep up the mirage, the charade. They have no idea who their father is. No idea. They go, "Oh, that's Kevin." I go, yeah, that's Kevin. Isn't he handsome and clever?
You always hear that with ladies.
And so they, I try to keep that up for as long as possible. It's like Santa Claus and all that kind of stuff. And so I just want that moment. I want that moment when they're watching the movie with me, and then all of a sudden there's, and I'm like, yeah. This whole time. Their cousins were over. They're slightly older than my boys, and they're like, "Oh, they're talking about the Kevin movie," and then the youngest of the cousins went, "You're Kevin." I go, "Shut up." Illusions. No, I was showing my oldest boy. He asked to see a family photo. He wanted to see my brothers and sisters and everything like that, so he wanted to see a picture of, us when we were kids and stuff. And I pull it out, and the bottom left corner, there I am, and immediately his finger goes there. He goes, "That looks like Kevin." I'm like, "Yeah, anyway, here's your uncle over here. Ever heard of Kieran?" So again, it's one of those things where watching with my kids makes me want to come out here and do shows like this to say, "No, you guys are watching it." Well, yeah. You guys are watching with your kids, and now you're showing your kids and stuff, and now I'm showing my kids. And so, it's kind of taking on a whole new life, a whole new meaning. Now I'm kind of seeing it through, kind of the audience's eyes for the first time. So, I hope you guys are going to have a good time tonight. Let's get the show on the road. Let's get ready for some fireside chat kind of stuff about Home Alone. Hey, Tim.
Hey, Matt.
How you doing?
I'm good, buddy.
Yeah.
I love that you just talked about that in front of the audience, because a lot of people always ask that when they write in questions. So this movie, 35 years, it's been 35 years, 35 years.
Here's a quick trivia thing. 35 years old, this movie. Guess how old Catherine O'Hara was when she played my mother?
25.
34. Yeah. You guys want to feel old? Guess how old I am? 45. Yes, you're welcome. Yeah, see if you guys a trip to Wikipedia.
I mean, this was the film that really made you a star. Everybody knew who you were. What was the moment, if there was a moment, when you were maybe out as a kid and were like, "Oh, I think I'm famous"?
So in my old neighborhood, people kind of knew that, "Oh, he's the actor kid." He goes to school, he does all that kind of stuff, but also he's the actor kid who occasionally goes off and does gigs or whatever. And I was shooting My Girl in Orlando, Florida. Yeah, yeah, bees, am I right? Give it up for the bees. So I'm hanging out, like, I used to hang out with the neighborhood kids and stuff like that. Over there in Orlando, we're doing all that kind of stuff. And I used to, like, play video games with them or sit them, down at the, whatever, the rec center or something. And then I just remember, like, Home Alone came out, it was like a weekend or so into it. And then I'm playing video games, like, in my living room, and these heads pop up in a window. And I'm like, what's that? What's that? And then boom, they duck down there, and they run like, hee, run away. Those were like kids I knew. Like they were like normal kids. Like I used to be one of them, and then they all of a sudden, it was like, I've got looky-loos now. You know what I mean? And even people that I knew. Like this thing kind of took a life of its own, and it happened really, really fast. And I think that was the moment where I was like, oh, things are different now. Like I used to be a kid. I used to be a kid with the kids. And now I'm the kid that the kids look at, kind of thing. It was a little strange, but yeah. But yes, there was that moment where I went, oh, I think I'm famous now. Now I'm weird.
And prior to doing this film, you did a little film that I know everybody loves because I love it. It's called Uncle Buck. Another John Hughes movie.
Yeah, another John Hughes movie.
And did that film get you Home Alone? Was that like your audition for Home
I
Alone?
mean, kind of. John Hughes, who wrote and directed Uncle Buck, he wrote Home Alone with me in mind. I mean, he wrote the part, essentially, for me. Is a scene in Uncle Buck where he can't babysit. So he calls up his girlfriend, Shanice. Think on, all right, guy. And it's like, I'm at the door looking through the mail slot. Can I see your ID? Can you please take it out of there? All that kind of stuff, right? He saw that. That was the impetus, the little acorn that turned into a mighty oak. And he goes, yeah, no, he liked the visual of the kid protecting his house. And so that's what it was. And so, yeah, he pretty much wrote this for me. So, here's the thing, okay. So, he didn't want to direct the movie. Like, he was done directing. He was, just wanting to just be a writer. Actually, ended up being a farmer in Wisconsin. Like, while he was also, like, making movies and stuff. He gave it to Chris Columbus. And Chris Columbus met with 500 kids, he said. 500 kids. He went to, like, 100 schools. He would crisscross the country. Before he did that, he met with me. And he was thoroughly unimpressed by me. Clearly, because he met 500 other kids. And he circled back around. And he circled back around to me. And so I was doing my audition for it, and we kind of pulled like an old kind of carny trick. So, okay, here's scene 1 and scene 2. They want you to do scene 1 and scene 2. And the thing is, the producers and writers and directors, you know what they want out of kids? They want their kids to remember their lines. That's a big thing, apparently. Like, for me, that was never an issue. I was remembering things really well. Instead of learning scene 1 and scene 2, we would find the longest speeches in the entire, entire script, and that's what we would get ready for. So I would show up and for the audition, and they're like, "All right, kid, do scene 1." I go, "Oh, I don't know scene 1." They're like, "Oh, sweetie, just do whatever you know." And I just start reeling off the whole thing, and like, "Oh, okay, we're impressed in 2 ways. 1, you remember your lines clearly, and 2, you tricked us. We really thought you didn't know that scene." I'm like, actually, I knew that scene too. I just wanted to do this one. So, hence, here we are.
Great. Yes.
Yeah. So yeah, but no, don't teach your kids that stuff, though. Give your kids, they can get into acting when they're older.
When I was doing research for this, there was a lot of, did this happen on the set? Did that happen on the set? So I have to ask you, is it true that Joe Pesci really bit your finger when you were hanging on the wall?
No, listen, he didn't do it during the scene. That's crazy. He did it during rehearsal. Yeah, he bit my finger. Here, Tim. There you go. See that little white speck?
Oh no, there's actually a real scar.
Yeah, I have a scar. It's a beautiful scar. It's like dental signature of some sort. So it's at the end of the film, you guys just saw it. I'm dangling there, like, you know, I'm on the hook, and they're like, you know, they're about to do the whole thing before Old Man Marley comes in. And so we're sitting there, the crew's setting all these kind of things up, you know, they're doing the lights and all those kind of things. And so we're just sitting there, and Pesci asked me and Daniel Stern, he goes, "Hey guys, do you want to run lines?" And I was like, "Yeah, gladly." I have no lines in the scene, so yeah, love to. So I'm dangling there, I'm kind of, you know, a vulnerable little 9-year-old. And so, you know, I'm gonna smash your face with an iron, I'm gonna do this and do that. And they finally get to the part, Pesci gets to the part, he's like, "I'm gonna bite each one of these fingers off, one at a time." And boom, he chomps down. And, okay, you know, you've seen Pesci. I mean, he's got that face, he's very gruff, you know. You've seen him, because not only did he bite a 9-year-old, he bit a vulnerable 9-year-old. He also bit a vulnerable 9-year-old that is also his coworker. So he had to deal with HR after that. Here's the thing: is that he always liked me after that because you know, he bit me and I was like, but I didn't squeal. You know, I don't think he likes squeals. So yeah, so I didn't squeal on him. And so the second one, we actually had more scenes together. We actually kind of hung out a little bit more. You know, there was one time we were about to like enter a scene, so we're kind of offset, we're getting ready and stuff. And he's like, "Hey kid, how you doing?" I'm like, "Oh, you know, I'm not a little tired. You know, yeah. I've been home in like 3 months. I've been working really hard." He goes, "I've been home in 3 years." All right. Didn't realize we're having a measuring contest with a 10-year-old. You win, Joe Pesci. But no, he was a very sweet dude. The second one was a marathon. It just went on. I think it took us about 5.5 months to shoot that, and it was forever. It was the last day. We finally finished. Boom, done. We're shooting at Universal Studios in LA. Actually, I remember my trailer was parked right across from the clock tower from Back to the Future. Yeah. I thought that was really cool. They finally tore that thing down, and right before they did, I actually stood outside of Universal Studios with a bunch of pamphlets saying, "Save the clock tower, save the clock tower." True story, I actually did do that. Totally worth the trip to Kinko's, that's for sure. So he comes up to me, like, he's like, "Hey kid, we're finally done." Like, he was like, "Yeah, no, I'm really tired still. Still haven't been home." Still want to fight me. And so he said, he's like, "Hey, I got some nice meats and cheeses in my room and all that stuff. Also, I got a bottle of vino, a nice Chianti, and we were gonna open up the can and let it breathe and stuff. Would you like a glass of wine with me?" I'm 10. I forgot about that. Yeah, you're right. But do you really want to have a glass of wine with me? Well, like, no, he's like, "Oh, but the kids in Italy, they do it all the time." I'm like, "Yeah, no, still, I mean, I want to get into my own clothes and go home." But, you know, I never had that glass of vino with them, you know, yeah. But also, he plays golf with one of my neighbors around the corner. They play golf all the time. They're always threatening to, like, I said, "Have Pesci come over to my house. Like, it'd be great, just unannounced, just ding dong, doorbird, Joe Pesci, like, just, we'd love it." Oh, the first thing I do is, "Kids, set up some traps. We have a special guest coming over." So, I haven't seen Joe in a while, you know. He's 82 years old. Yeah, I know, he's still kicking it and all that stuff. So, yeah, so give it up for Joe Pesci. Yeah.
Kids, set up some traps, hold him down, I'll bite his finger.
Yes. Give him a souvenir this time. I mean, it's...
Well, ladies and gentlemen, if you didn't know this, Joe Pesci's role was actually first offered to Robert De Niro. Yeah, Robert De Niro passed, which I think would have been an interesting choice.
Different movie.
Yeah. "I'm gonna kill that kid. I'm gonna kill him." See that? Pretty good. And then they offered the movie to, you would never guess it, John Lovitz was offered the film. as Joe Pesci's role, and turned it down and said, end quote, "I didn't want to play second fiddle to some kid." He's kicking himself now, right, Mac?
Yeah. I mean, here by the grace of God, here I am. Yeah, Lovitz told me that story. Okay, I bumped into him. Geez, this must have been like 20 years ago or whatever. I was at some kind of party or something, and Lovitz comes and goes, "Hey, I'm John Lovitz." I'm like, "Yeah, no, I can tell. You're very John Lovitz." And he's like, they offered me that comment, the Joe Pesci part, Home Alone, but I never took it, I could tell he felt really like down, like he was kind of down about it, and I was like, I tried to I was like 20 years old, so I'm trying to lay down some 20-year-old wisdom on him. I'm like, listen, this is show business, it's like hack your career, the things you do, hack your career, the things that you don't do. It's cool, man, don't you worry about it. I was thinking, yeah. Still wish I did it, though. Alright, touche, John Lovitz. So then, I don't bump into John Lovitz a lot often, but a week later I bumped into him again. Like, oh look, there's my new best friend, John Lovitz. And I go, oh hey, John, how you doing? Hey, I'm John Lovitz. He goes, they offered me that part. I was like, yeah, well, John, you told me. I feel like it was kind of like, it was living rent-free in his mind, probably to this day. But I hope, he's nice enough. I hope John is doing good. Last I heard, he has a comedy club called the John Lovitz Comedy Club. It's so weird that he found a comedy club that was already named after him. So yeah, that's what he's doing. I'm not proud of that.
So people write in questions, audience questions. I try to narrow it down to the most commonly asked questions, and one that's always asked: did you do any of your own stunts when you were filming the movie, or did you have a stunt double?
No, again, I'm 10. I'm 9 years old. No, insurance, never. They would never let me do that. But I did have a stunt person. So, this is pre-production before the movie even started. I'm in wardrobe department, putting on the outfits so that they don't know which color sweater, which kind of pants they want, all that stuff. So you change into things, then you take a photo, and you do another outfit, and all that kind of stuff. It's above my pay grade. So I get to the whole outfit, the green pants, the red sweater, all that stuff. I turn the corner, and there's another person, dressed just like me. Green coat pants, red sweater, the whole works. And I look and I go, I can tell he's a little older than me. Hey, what are you doing here? What's your name? I'm Larry. Hi, Larry. What do you do? I'm your stunt double. Oh, okay, wow. And so we're kind of just standing there, again, doppelgangers, just looking at each other. And he looks at me and goes, how old do you think I am? And I knew there's a loaded question. I knew he was trying to trick me. Because he's much older than me. I was 9, so he's much older than me. I was like, 13? And kid, you're funny. And he walks off. So Larry would, I didn't really work with him. Clearly, when I'm on screen, he's not, and when he's on screen, I'm not. But these things called dailies. So you shoot a whole bunch of stuff the day before, and then they show the raw footage the next day. Chris Columbus had a very open door policy when it came to that kind of thing. So one time over lunch, he'd watch the dailies. So I remember watching the dailies, and it was the scene where I'm in Buzz's room, and I'm trying to get his money to pay for groceries all the way at the top, right? So there's Larry climbing the shelf and all that stuff, and then boom, 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 boom. And just boom, eats it. And it looks really painful. It's just like, oh gosh, I'm like, oh gosh. And no, something was wrong. One of the shelves fell down right, something like that. So there's another take. And then kaboom, kaboom, kaboom. And you go, and then he does it again. Boom, again. Boom, again. And I'm sitting there and I'm going, please take it easy on Larry. He's only 13 years old. So yeah, Larry Nichols was my stunt double. Yeah, so that's the story. Yeah, I did not do my own stunts. They normally don't let 9-year-olds do their stunts. Movie magic, am I right?
I looked it up. He was 30 years old when he shot that.
I was close. I was close. 30, 13.
But I think it's interesting is when you watch that shot, it really looks like you going up. Was he really, really tiny?
No, I mean, he was proportional.
Yeah.
He was pretty much, he was my proportion, just slightly bigger and more wrinkly. but yeah, no, he was built like me, just tougher. You know, yeah, but man, actually that fourth time on that bookshelf, the way he eats it, I'm just like, oh, just, somebody send him a new hip, please.
When you watch the film, you're probably like, that's me, that's Larry, that's me, that's Larry.
That's exactly what I do. I do with Brendan all the time. When we were watching the movie with the kids, and we're doing the sled thing or whatever, I'm just like, that's Larry, that's me, Larry again. Oh, there's me, that's Larry again. No, I swear, I do that. And she was, yeah, I know, you already told me. I'm not as fascinated by this movie as you are. Worth a shot.
I think one of the other big stars of the movie is the actual home itself, right? The exterior home. Beautiful home.
They're gorgeous.
The actual set, though, is a gymnasium in Chicago, right? He owned it. You tell the story.
Yeah, no, he owned, so John Hughes, he was the Chicago film industry. He, had he owned everything, the cameras, the lights, the whole thing. So, he bought a defunct high school, and he just kind of gutted it, pretty much. The first floor pretty much stayed the same. There's a lot of classrooms and all kind of stuff. Those were dressing rooms, and where their hair and makeup and wardrobe and all this kind of stuff. Production offices, boom. And the upstairs was where the little gymnasium and all stuff. Just gutted it, boom, that's where all the sets were. So that's where all the interiors were done for Home Alone. The exteriors were done in Winnetka. But also, that's where we shot Uncle Buck, too. Uncle Buck, I just remembered the lobby. I love it. It was for a whole week. The whole place smelled like pancakes. Because those were real. Those were real pancakes. I swear to God, those things that were this big, they were real, and they kept on practicing all week long. My hair still smells like pancake. True story. Otherwise the real house itself, where we actually shot a good amount there, was in Winnetka, Illinois. Yes, apparently the owners get really, really tired around this time of year. And so the neighbors too, man. They block off that road. It becomes kind of a bit of a mecca where people kind of just drive by and they get their photos taken with it, and all that stuff. I think it was last year, the year before, something like that. Apparently it was up for sale. Okay, I read that story every once in a while. Oh, the Home Alone house is up for sale. And I'd be lying if I didn't say I thought about it. Just imagine. All the tourists come by and like, get off my lawn! Get off my property! But also I could turn into like an Airbnb, just the whole, again, the sled and all that stuff. Like I can shoot, you can shoot my action figures with your BB gun, just upcharge. Although actually I thought it would be even funnier. I thought it would be even funnier if I didn't buy that house. No, it's ridiculous. That'd be weird if I bought that house. What if I bought the neighbor's house, though? Just kind of go out there, dead of winter, wearing my boxer shorts, my white beater, my terry cloth robe, nothing matches, smoking a cigar, I'm grilling sausages, and that house has a history, let me tell you about it. There's been a lot of break-ins around here lately. They never caught that South Bend shovel slayer. But, maybe someday a boy can dream. But yes, like I said, I'd be long if I didn't think about buying a Home Alone house.
I'm all, who's in? I'm in. That's great.
That's Venmo me.
Start a GoFundMe. Some of the exteriors were shot at the actual house that we see in the film.
Yeah, all the exterior stuff. We spent about a good month there.
Did you actually, was that a tree on the property where they cut that, when you cut the top off? Because I always thought that had to be weird.
Okay, this is what I heard. Last year I heard this. So, So that scene where I'm setting up my own Christmas tree, right? So I'm sawing off the top of the tree in the backyard and all that, and the way I experienced it was, it's already kind of cut, and then you kind of cut it and it falls over, then, cut, boom, they put it back in, and then action. Movie magic, if you will. So I'm doing that, and apparently the owners of the place, they were just shooting that movie or whatever. They go to the premiere, they see the movie, and they're watching that scene going, oh, that's weird there. It looks like our tree. So they go home after the movie, go, hey, wait a second. No, they actually cut off the top of their tree. Totally didn't mess. The whole production just cut off the top of their tree. And what's really weird is that they cut off the top of their tree without asking. That's weird, right? What's even weirder is that they cut off the top of their tree a year ago, they didn't even notice. I'm no arborist myself, but I probably noticed somebody cut off the top of my tree. If it was my property, a boy could dream. But if it was my property, actually it'd be great if I did buy the place and I only want the tree with the nub on it. I want the nub tree. Otherwise, this is no deal. Sorry guys, we dropped out of escrow. There's not the nub tree.
The real estate agent, though, they'll just climb back up there with a fake Christmas tree and glue it back to the top. I'm not missing this sale. So you actually watch a movie, the black and white movie that you're watching during the film, and people always want to know, is that an actual movie?
Oh, Angels with Deadly Souls?
Yes.
No, it wasn't a real movie. A lot of people thought it was a real. How many of you guys actually thought it was a real movie the first time you saw it? Right? Yeah. Seth Rogen he was thoroughly convinced for 40 years of his life that was a real movie. No, it was not a real movie. They actually they shot that beforehand. I knew about it and all that stuff. I was surprised the guy who played the main kind of gangster, because he's got that voice, it's iconic, the whole thing. I never really kind of saw him, popping up and everything. But no, it was not a real movie. Spoiler alert for the two of you that didn't. And you, Seth Rogen. Seth Rogen's here, right? Hey, ladies and gentlemen.
People also want to know, was the spider real though? Was that a real spider, and did you actually handle the spider?
Yes, it was a tarantula. It was real. Or at least most of the shots were real. And no, I didn't handle it. Okay? They didn't ask me. The thing is, they didn't even ask me, because I was a pretty brave 9-year-old. So, sure, I'll pick up your tarantula. Don't quote me on that. But yeah, no, so it was real. But they did was one of the grips, one of the people who does the lights, their kid kept tarantulas. So they're like, oh, he already knows his way around these arachnids. So it was like that. But so there's the time where it's on Pesci's chest. Just imagine it from Harry's point of view. He's knocked out. He just double-ended over and all this stuff. He's out. And next thing you know, he wakes up and Marv is over him. And he's got the tarantula in his chest. He's like, Marv, what are you doing? That whole thing. But if you look at that, that's the fake one. That's the rubber one. Like, Pesci was like, don't put that thing on me. No. I'm here to be scaring the children. I'm not here for tarantulas. But so with Daniel Stern, he was totally game for a game. He was whatever. That tarantula on his face, that was the real deal. That was totally real. Yeah, they put a real tarantula on his face. But here's the thing, is that, because he's got that great screaming, that really high, that was all muted. The whole performance had to be without screaming. Because it was like, they don't want to scare the tarantula. So he's on his face, and he's going, and then they added the scream later, because again, who wants to scare the tarantula? Like, why, don't tug on Superman's cape. But the way they got the tarantula to move around, it's like those little duster things, like the computers, like to clean your keyboard. That's how they got it to move. So if you see it moving this way, it's because they sprayed it this way. If you see it moving that way, they sprayed it that way. And that's how they got it to do what it wanted.
Another question that is always asked too when it comes in is, when you shot the zipline scene, were you actually holding on, doing the zipline, or was that all Larry also?
Well, okay, most of it's Larry. Yes, that's the big ones, big ones. But no, I actually, for the stuff that you're seeing of me, I'm wearing a harness under my clothes, and then the wires kind of come up my sleeves. So when I'm holding on to it, you know, I'm whoa, stuff. Just like that, right? That's you know neat. So what it was we were like, for some reason they were having some technical difficulties or something like that on that one. So like it kept on like taking a long time in between setups, and it was bitter cold. I mean, it was really cold out there in Chicago. And so I'm doing the zipline thing, and just like boom. So they're like, oh, you don't have to hold on to it; you can just let go. So I just let go, and I'm dangling there. Okay. And I just remember just dangling there, and dangling there, and dangling there, and it was taking forever. And honestly, I wouldn't have been surprised if they cut for lunch and then just left the kid there. Just kid on the wire. Honestly, people ask me like, "Oh, what's your favorite? Like, you know, what's your favorite trap or this and that?" That was my least favorite thing. It's just dangling there, bitter cold, just kid on a wire.
So of all the traps, then, which was the one that you, when you watched the film, you're like, that's the best one.
Okay. Well, okay. Like, listen, the one that I think is the most visceral, vicious one is the nail to the foot. Just right. That's the one that just like honestly, you can't see my toes, but they're just like right now, just thinking about it. My favorite trap in the entire movie is the feathers in the fan. Right? Because there's like a smash your face with an iron kind of stuff. There's the nails in the toe. There's the scolding of that hand and all that kind of stuff. It's like, no, the feathers. It's not there to hurt. It's just there to humiliate. It's just there to say, why are you like a chicken? So that's always been my favorite for some reason. It's kind of just like, yeah, no, just there to humiliate.
All right, I'm going to do a little cast word association. I'm going to give you a cast member's name, and you just tell me the first thing you think about when I say it. We've already talked about Joe Pesci, but I'd like to talk about Robert Blossom, who played Old Man Marley.
Oh yeah, Robert Blossom, yeah. Whatever happened to him anyway. No, but I actually worked with him outside of Home Alone. The thing is, that scene when I was a kid, it was, you know, just, I'm there for the traps, really, you know. It's as an adult, when we watch the movie with my kids, it's like, I just love that scene. But actually, I worked with him after Home Alone. So we shot Home Alone, and then immediately after, jumped into like, just a really quick little gig. It was like one day. It was in New York City. It was actually, I'm not sure if you guys have seen this. It was an educational video for Ellis Island. Do you guys remember going to Ellis Island in the 90s? Okay, see, exactly. But so the educational video was like what it's like to be a family going into Ellis Island. So it was like me, and then my mom, and then my grandpa, and stuff like that. Have you ever watched like the opening sequence of Godfather 2, you know, where he kind of gets, they check him for lice, and they kind of give him a little X, and they're like, oh, you're quarantined now. So it was like that. So we're going through, and they checked me, I'm fine. They checked mom, she's not fine. She is fine. And they checked grandpa, like, no. Quarantine. And so I'm like, you know, so my character, you know, my thing's like, oh, you're gonna take grandpa from me, you know? And then he's just like, yes, just live without me. And several ways. We did one take, and there's like, we're not doing this. No, just, this is way too sad. Oh, it's like, so, I think the version they ended up using was sans chalk. You know, so, but yes, he was a lovely man. He was, you know, pretty much what you see is what you get when it comes to like that the church scene, where it's kind of just like, no, he was that kind of soft, well-spoken man. Very, very sweet. We didn't really work together all that much, you know, but yeah, no, he's a good dude. And yeah, he didn't have to go to quarantine because I look so sad.
Okay, Daniel Stern.
Okay, we're giving up for Daniel Stern. Yeah, when I think of Daniel Stern, I think tall. He's a tall character woman that way. You know what? You know what he reminded me of? Is Big Bird. He's tall, like he's got the hair, the nose, the whole thing. He's got the kind of goofiness to him of a Muppet, you know. No, he was always very, very sweet. I'm sure it's no surprise to all of you that Joe Pesci kind of likes scaring children. But Daniel didn't like scaring kids. He didn't like being the bad guy kind of thing. By the time we did the second movie, my little brothers, my youngest, they were come set, and they would see Daniel and Joe in their regalia, in a full burglar outfit. And one of my brothers got really scared. There's the bad guys, there's the burglars. And Joey's like, yeah, I'm a burglar. Whereas Daniel had like kids about that age, and he didn't want to be the bad guy kid. He always like, he wanted to just, oh no, my name's Daniel, I'm not Marv, that kind of thing. He was always very sweet. He was good with kids, all that stuff. Just a nice guy, I guess. Daniel's
Tall and sweet.
Yeah, tall and sweet. Yeah, 'cause I think he's a farmer now. I think he's like up in Oregon or Idaho or something like that. Yeah, no, he just has a farm. He mostly just farms now. So yeah, no, good for him. Yeah, no, it's good. No, farming's good. And somebody chocolate. No, are you kidding? You know the kid from Willy Wonka and the Chocolate Factory? Do you know what he does? The guy who played Charlie? No, he's a veterinarian. He does livestock in the UK. That's what he does. He did, and you know what? That makes him happy. Like, he likes doing that. He could have kept on doing other things, but no, that's what he wants to do. If you want to be a farmer or do livestock or anything like that, oh, please go for it. So Daniel Stern, farmer.
Follow your dreams, kids. And next I have to say the immortal, the incomparable Catherine O'Hara.
In a word, I go, Mama. No, it's Mom. It's funny, I haven't seen her in a long time. It's been over a decade, and I was actually leaving a Martin Mall art exhibition. Actually, it was a really fine painter. You should look it up. But I was on my way out, and she was on her way in, and as soon as I saw her, I saw her in the parking lot, and I was like, Mama! And she went, Son! Picked up right where we left off, big fat hugs and all those kind of things. About 2 years ago, almost exactly 2 years ago, I got a star on the Hollywood Walk of Fame. Give it up for stars! My mother was sick, she couldn't make it. And so I asked Catherine to speak for me. You get to pick people to speak for you. She was the one I picked. And she said some really nice things about me and stuff, but it's kind of awkward because there's somebody saying really nice things about you, and they make you stand right next to them. So I'm standing there going, oh, gee whiz, she's like, no, he's amazing. I was like, just did. But no, after she was done and all that stuff, I gave her a big fat hug, and I just said, thanks for being my mama today. Thanks for filling in. Thanks for doing that for me. So, always going to be that way with her. We just always are going to have that together. She's Mama. So in a word, Mama.
Last but not least, the unbelievable, the incredible John Candy.
Oh, John Candy, right? Yeah. Gus Polanski, the Poker King. And he was just the sweetest. Just a sweet dude. They always say the old Fatty Arbuckle, quote, never work with kids or animals in Hollywood because they're both just pains to work with, they're difficult. But no, I never had that experience with him. He was always really, really great with us kids on Uncle Buck and stuff. He was always very patient. And when he asked you how you were doing, he actually meant it, because a lot of times people thought I was okay, because I knew my lines, I could find my light, I could hit my marks, clearly the kid's doing something good. Nobody's asking me how I was doing. He didn't ask me how I was doing. When I was doing this movie, Home Alone, you have to remember, I worked pretty much every single day. It's almost like Castaway with Tom Hanks, except he got a volleyball to talk to. I know, I was like, just like, yeah, I was just talking to the eater, like, watching rubbish. So, and so I had a day off. They were shooting all the Gus Polanski stuff. And I drove, my day off, I drove all the way out to Midway Airport, which is, a bit of a schlep. Just to say hi to him, just to hang out with him in the hair and makeup trailer for about 15, 20 minutes and stuff. He was very sweet. During Uncle Bunk, I used to play Liar's Poker with the Teamsters. He always thought it was really hilarious that I hung out with the Teamsters. That was more my vibe. And it's one of those things where it's a game where it's $1 bills and you're messing around with the serial numbers, trying to bluff each other or whatever. So during Uncle Bunk, I had a nice little bond with the rubber band around it. I'm gonna say, yeah, like a little 8-year-old there, just conning the Teamsters. So I see him, he's like, the first thing when I walk in, he says, "You still got that wad?" No, it's ridiculous. It's bigger now. So, always get along with him. Yeah, he's a really great guy. I was in that documentary, the I Like Me, on Amazon. Yeah. If you haven't seen it and you're a fan of his, you should totally check it out. It really is a love letter to him. They treated it like it was the last John Candy movie, which I agree with because Wagon Seas is questionable. No, it's also, funny enough, fun fact, it's the last movie you'll see me in where I'm the youngest member of the cast. Being 45 years old, I'm like, wow, I'm a spry 45, compared to Eugene Levy,
All right, are you ready to have some fun with this audience right now?
Do you guys want to have fun?
You guys want to have a good time?
Yeah, let's have some fun.
Let's have some fun. We're going to do a little trivia. We need to bring the house lights up a bit.
Yeah, let's do some house lights.
There we go.
Let me get my magic bag up here.
Mac is going to take some tennis balls and toss them blindly into the audience. And whoever catches it, give it to a child, the nearest child, and then the child will come on stage and we'll ask a question.
Give it to the nearest kid. Okay, here we go.
The kids only.
Yeah!
Well, that's a good one.
That was actually pretty okay. I not even warmed up, that hurt.
Right here, 2 kids right here.
Wants to come out?
Going, right here, right here.
Don't worry. Oh gosh, there's only 2 aisles, Jesus. Before we started getting kids into it, we didn't really plan, like there's certain theaters that don't have stairs in the front, sometimes, so there was a guy, pretty much where you're sitting, he just started grabbing kids and tossing them on stage. It's like, honestly, he was almost like too used to it. Yeah. He was a natural kid tosser.
If he does it at holiday
Yeah,
parties.
exactly. It's kind of a thing. Oh, hello. Hi, my ball back, please. Thank you. What's your name?
Sadie.
Give it up for Sadie. Hey, Sadie, you having a good time?
Yes.
Oh, thank goodness. When's the last time you saw Home Alone?
Not counting just now.
Because I thought you just came for the Q&A. That would be weird. But you like Home Alone, yeah?
Yes.
You know it okay? You know it pretty well?
Yeah.
Okay, I'm going to ask you a trivia question. Are you ready? Okay, here it goes. Okay, so you know the part of the movie where the whole family, everyone wakes up late and they're like, oh God, we're running late. Remember that?
Yes.
Yes. And then the vans from the airport, they show up and they knock over the lawn jockey and all that kind of stuff. And everyone kind of like, oh God, we're late, yeah?
Yes.
And they run to the airport, like, oh, run. And they get there and they get to the gate and just like, everyone gets on the plane and Frank's on the plane goes, oh, put this in your purse. Put it in your purse. You remember that?
Yes.
Okay, here's my question. What airline did you fly?
American.
Here you go. I got you a micro machine, and I signed it myself. Great record night. Give it up for Sadie. Let's do another one.
Oh, right here. All right, come on, let's go.
Oh, we got a video. All right. Yeah, this might be a minute. You got any filler or something?
Oh yeah, folks. I'm gonna tell you a little story about how we got to Austin.
Our man named Jim.
Yeah,
Or
great town. Isn't this like the home of barbecue, right?
No, breakfast tacos. It's the home of breakfast tacos.
Breakfast tacos?
Yeah, and Lone Star beer. Yes.
Well, we had Thai for dinner. Someone figured that out.
Yeah, true.
Oh, here she comes.
Well, thanks. So we can go over here.
I really hope that's your dad.
Come on over. Come closer. What's your name? This is Emma. Give it up for Emma. So, Emma, how old were you?
6.
Well, when I was your age, I was 7. So, do you know the movie Home Alone pretty good?
Yes.
Are you ready to answer a trivia question about it? Good thing you gave me the ball back. Alright, well, I'm gonna ask you a question about the movie that you just saw, okay? You ready? Okay. So, there's a time where I'm in the store, right? And old man Marley puts his hand out there and he's bleeding. Remember that? I get scared.
Yeah.
Yeah, so he does that. And then I start back and the lady's like, excuse me, you gotta pay for that. And the kid goes, shoplifter! Remember that?
Yeah.
Yeah, and I run around, the cops after me, and I go on the ice, and I'm sliding on my knees, and going to the people's legs, remember that?
Yeah.
Okay, here's my question. Was the toothbrush approved by the American Dental Association?
I don't know.
That's the right answer. There you go. All right. So I'm going to give you a prize. Are you ready? Here's a toothbrush. It's approved by the American Dental Association. And I signed it. Cool, right? Can I have a biscuit? Can I have an ET? Alright, give it a friend. Thanks. Alright, where's your remote? Alright. Yeah! Oh God! Somebody lost an eye! I actually always worried about that. It's like, oh my gosh, does my insurance actually cover this tour? Alright, oh cool. We got some more gusto. Alright. Look at that. Oh, in your Christmas colors. So, how long have you been working at the theater? Just come here. Come over to center stage here. What's your name? What's your name again?
Carson?
Yes.
Yeah.
Alright, good. Alright. Okay, right. So, do you remember the part of the movie where Kevin is setting up all the traps, right? Like the micro machines and the tripwire and all that?
Yeah.
Yeah. And then there's the, you got the paint cans and, the feathers. That's my favorite. The feathers, you know that?
Yeah.
Yeah. And the pull torch, and all this in the branding iron, all that stuff, yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, what I have for this? Alright. So I got you, because I was never able to get in the movie, if you notice. I know everyone brings that up to me all the time. Oh, hey, it looks hungry. I got you a macaroni and cheese tonight. And I'm psyched to... I'm hungry now. Alright.
I'm scared.
My balls.
Jeez, those ladies. Settle down, ladies.
Fight.
He's not. Here he comes.
Thunderbird. Alright, take your time. Get all this gold. That's kind of stupid. Hey, come on over here, man. Looking good. All right.
How crazy.
So, what's your name?
My name is David.
All right, give it a. So, are you ready for some Home Alone trivia?
Yes.
Good, because I'm fresh out of Schindler's List trivia. So, kid, we're still introducing Schindler's List. Don't do that. It's okay. You're doing a good job. Okay, so I'm going to ask you a question, right? Okay, so do you remember I wake up in the morning and I got my big poofy hair or something like that? I'm wearing some blue pajamas, right? Remember that?
Yes.
Yeah. And then later on, I'm kind of walking around. I'm going grocery shopping. Remember that?
Yes.
Yeah. And I'm wearing a big little hat and a big scarf and all those things. Yeah. Yeah. Okay. And do you remember the climax of the movie? You know, when I'm running around and all those things. I'm wearing the red sweater and all that stuff. You remember that?
Yes.
Yeah. What color are my pants?
Blue.
Huh? What's up? Hold on. See, didn't you guys know? I'm sorry. What's that?
Green.
Yes! Now, you got. Alright, I got two prize. This is my favorite one. It is a glossy, brand new 8x10 photo of Joe Pesci, signed by Macaulay Culkin. What's that?
Yeah, chicken feathers.
He's got the feathers, yes. Yeah, he looks like a chicken. Give me enough there, Dave. Go, give it over to Dave. See, I mean, this is some. Yeah. So, yeah, that was fun. Yeah, give it up for all the kids. Yeah. It's hard to get a kid on stage. I would know. So, yeah, they did an excellent show.
We have a couple more minutes. One question that's always asked too is all the films that you did through your career and still will do up to this day. What was your favorite movie to shoot besides Home Alone?
Yeah, it's a tricky one. What I'd say saved. Gosh. Where were you guys 20 years ago? I love doing saved because I kind of joked about it. Like, I was doing like essentially Cat Story. I was always by myself out there. I wasn't a part of a Goonies or a Monster Squad or something like that. I wasn't working with kids my own age really all that much. So I got to do that. I was in my early 20s. I was like 21, 22, something like that. It was the first time I actually worked with people my own age. And we had this, same interests, same everything. It was really cool. We were a really tight outfit. We do pop-ups every other night, things like that. I remember right around that time was when the Lord of the Rings, stuff was going on, and we heard they all got matching tattoos. We're like, guys, let's get matching tattoos. And Maggie Moore's like, I'm not eating crucifix tattooed on my ankle. And she was probably right, But honestly, it was really great to kind of just find to do something like that was with other young adults like myself. That was an adventure. Yeah, so that probably be my favorite when it comes to the day to day.
This is the last audience question. I had to ask this. I love this one. Who would win in a fight between Kevin McAllister and Ralphie Parker from The Christmas Story?
That is so easy. I mean, Kevin, clearly. Okay, first thing out here. So of course I'm going to say that. Kevin fights dirty, right? He fights dirty. I mean, the nails in the foot, the bricks, the face, all those things. It's like, no, he fights dirty and he fights ugly. And also, it's, you see him, the way he shoots those action figures with the BB gun, right? And he shoots, Pesci and Stunt in the nets. He also gets Marv right between the eyes and stuff. Ralphie shot himself in the eye. So yeah, that's a low hanging fruit. It's Kevin, I think, blows him away.
So tell Zootopia 2 just came out. Tell us about that.
Yeah, I'm in Zootopia too. Yeah, they called us up less than a year ago, right there, and they said, "How would you guys like to be in the movie?" And I said, "Yes." And so we're taking Bite of the Forbidden Fruit. We're playing brother and sister. Yeah. And by that I mean we're playing cats. We actually play cats. So yeah, we did that. It was actually really cool. We took the premiere. We took our boys. It was great because we were sitting in the aisle, and then I'm here, the two boys there, and she's over there bookending them. And no, just watch the kids, watch something that we did. Their big old eyes, like just being it's a different kind of proud. It's like how I made my kids smile, kind of proud. So yeah, that just came out this past week. Yeah, the 26th. So go check it out. 'Cause honestly, my kids actually absolutely love it. They're kind of picky. And also definitely go watch it because if enough of you watch it, then you're gonna make a third one. Just saying. So yeah, it was that. Yeah.
And there's Fallout, right?
Fallout.
Fallout, yes.
Yeah, I've been Fallout Season 2. If you guys have not seen Fallout, you guys should totally check it out. It's an awesome show. Greg and I, we don't really have a lot of time to watch things. We just don't. We get halfway through a pilot, go, we don't have time for this. We have a 3-year-old and a 4-year-old at home, and I only have time to take a shower, let alone watch a show. And so, that's the only show we watched from beginning to end, that entire year. All episodes. And about halfway through the season, she rolled over in bed and she went, "Honey, you belong on this show." I said, "I know, right?" And you know what? I didn't even think about it. We just, watched the episode, went to bed, all of the 2-3 months later, they come knocking on my door. It's like she put it out there in the ether. She was the one who kind of, put it out there in the universe. I think she just read The Secret. Right. That 20-year-old look. But yeah, no, she went out there in the universe. And so yeah, I did it. It's going to be awesome. I look great in it. That's the one thing. Here's the thing. The one thing that the show does is make everyone look great. So yeah. It's going to be wonderful. The thing is coming out on December 17th. And yeah. Here's the thing is that it's funny because I did a bunch of press for it the other week. And they were like, "Okay, here's the show, but your part's a secret, and you can't really reveal too much about it. Now go do press about it." So what do you do? I don't know. It was so strange. So I just promise you guys it's actually really cool. If you haven't seen it, please do. And yeah, Fallout Season 2, check it out.
Awesome. Okay, before we go, I have to ask you this because people always ask you, and it's always written in as a question. If you were to do another Home Alone movie as an adult, give us your elevator pitch on what that movie would look like in your eyes.
All right, I mean, it's really hard. Everyone keeps on trying to, I've been trying at least like 4 other times to do it, to know what they're home. There's missing one very crucial element. Yes.
Yeah.
But yeah, the way I see it, I could see Kevin had to be the father, and I think he's like a widower or divorcee or something like that, kind of a single father kind of situation, and he's not getting along with his kid. He's always away at work and this and that. There's kind of a disconnect going on. And then I'm not sure. I think either he actually does leave his kid behind by mistake, or he's trying to teach him a lesson and leaves him up, home by himself. Yeah, he gets locked out, and his kid won't let him in. And he doesn't want to call the cops or something like that. No. So he's trying to break in. And the kid keeps on setting traps for him. And the things that it's always he kept going, "Oh, I know that one. That's not going to work." And then something else happens. So, a lot of that kind of stuff. I can see those kind of things working. And I think, pretty much, I think the idea is like the house itself, like, me breaking in, will be kind of, trying to break into my kid's heart again, try to mend that household, essentially, is what it is. So that's my elevator pitch at me, Disney.
Well, thank you so much for being here with us tonight.
Thanks, Tim.
An honor and a pleasure, Macaulay.
please, do you have any parting words for the audience?
Yeah. Well, first give it up for Tim Cromwell. Absolutely. Yeah, well, next does, the holidays coming up, and I'm glad you guys were able to share all this with me. Thanks for turning out. Thanks for remembering me, and thanks for remembering this film. It's, my parting words, just because the holiday season is, Merry Christmas. You filthy animals! Thanks, Lucas.
Macaulay Culkin, ladies and gentlemen. Malcolm, thank you so much for having us.